Hey, we're here with video number 2, DIY / time-lapse of this custom Venom T-Rex, first seen in Old Man Logan, and then it's popped up a few more times in the Marvel Comics series since then. So all you need for this pop is your paints, a little bit of sculpting material, and a T-Rex. So let's just dive right into Dorico DIY Episode 2, Electric Venom T-Rex Boogaloo.
So you'll start by sculpting on a little bit of eyebrow ridges. The Symbiote has some different little bits of Symbiote goo coming off of him, so the effect is pretty easy to do. Next up, you'll start working on the teeth. Just take some Sculpey, roll it into little tubes, kind of point it off just like you would for, jagged teeth, and fit them in there. I try to do it between the teeth that are already on the sculpt because his mouth in general is just full of nasty, haphazard, crooked monster teeth, so there's no wrong way to do this. You just want to get a mouth full of teeth in general. Heating up those teeth. Next up, we'll work on the tongue. Just kind of make another tube and fit it in there. Really mash it down over the sculpted tongue and just have it kind of jutting out in between the lower teeth and the middle of the jaw. Now, if you're somebody that puts your pops back in the box, always be aware when you're adding these sculpted pieces on of the dimensions of the box. You don't want to have an awesome giant monster tongue coming out that'll snap off when you go to put it in the box because it's too large. So just kind of keep your box handy and make sure you're not going out of control. Next up, we start with the base coat of white, which is going to be a few layers tossed on there. So here's a lot of footage of that. Next, we start adding red around the jaw, inside the mouth here. So just take a dark red, cover the tongue, the sides of the mouth, the bottom of the mouth, the inner areas of the mouth, and just get it really a nice solid base coat of this on there. Now I'm adding a gum line here. So get a small brush, just kind of slowly working a tiny little edge of gum around there. It breaks up the white nicely. It makes them look a little more vicious too once we add a few more layers as well in the process here. Now I'm adding a little bit of dry brushing with some still red paint in the mouth for a nice little like washed out effect on the tongue, which still leaves it looking a little bit texturized there, and it helps break up the red in the center. Now I'm adding some yellow on the teeth, just kind of dry brushing it as well, just kind of mashing it in and around there, because obviously dental hygiene's probably not that important to this guy. So once the yellow's done, I go back over it with some dry brush white to tone it down a little, so it's just a subtle effect that's not overbearing. Now this is a wash, a red wash, a dark red wash, kind of working around the gums, in and around the bottom of the teeth and on the points of the teeth, just kind of smattering it in there, because this is going to be part of the layers to make it look a little bloody, a little gory, like he's been chowing down on some sort of, you know, spider triceratops or whatever his diet is. Old Man Hawkeyes, I guess. So then we jump into the layering of the black over the white and just kind of work on the nose and then work on the underbelly and around the rest of the body. And what's nice about a custom like this is it's not, the paint lines aren't a clean break. They're a little loose, a little gritty. So you can kind of play around with the color change between the black and the white with some stripes and smattering and stuff, and it's just gonna look cooler the more you just kind of put your own touch on it. And now I'm going to add a wash, black wash all over the Rex, and then kind of take a damp towel and pat it off a little bit. So it makes it darker, it makes it a little off-white, but it really brings out all the scale texturing. As you can see, the wash moving around between the sculpt there. So you just kind of put that on there, pat it off, and then I use the heat tool just to dry it so I can knock it all out a little more evenly across the board. Now I add a little bit of metallic white around the eyes here, just to make them pop a little bit, just a little bit of a standout from the basic color of the eye around it since there's so much white there. And then I do it again just to really make them shine. Then some hot glue drool effects and add a little more red wash blood over the top of that.
And that is how it's done. Welcome to Jurassic Park.